Yokan.
Hello everybody, so we're on lesson number 5. So we've already made quite a lot of progress from learning how to breathe, how to sit, breathing exercises, our sun salutation, and we've introduced our standing postures. So today we're going to repeat a lot of that and today we're going to add all our floor stretches as well as another balance. And preparing ourselves again for some slightly different inversions, that's upside down poses, maybe preparing in the next 2 or 3 lessons towards at least a half headstand for those who are physically able to do that. Alright, so sitting comfortably today, we're going to start with our sitting positions rather than lying on the floor. So if you're sitting on 3 blocks like this, get yourselves ready. If you're sitting on 1 or 2, prepare yourselves. So we're going to do some kind of preparations for sitting to meditate if you want to, and mindfulness. So I would never miss out the original lying down on the floor and establishing your breathing. That is something that you need to do, at least 2 or 3 times a week in your own time. But today I kind of just want to introduce a few little techniques for mindfulness meditation. So sitting comfortably, and like I say, everyone's going to be slightly different. If you're up against or quite close to a wall and you feel like you need the support of a wall, then obviously use it. So we're just going to sit with a beautifully straight spine as before. You can bring your hands into Chin Mudra, that's your first finger and thumb together, back of the hand on the thigh, and just slide your hand back. Now if that feels comfortable, that's great. I like this version as well, where I just turn my hands down. That sometimes feels like I can stay there a little bit longer. We're going to close our eyes when we feel comfortable. And we're going to do what we did when we lay down, which was to observe our breath. So I want you to firstly notice your breathing. Coming in through the nose and out through the nose. Now I can imagine that some of you are already fighting mentally and going, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do this, is really hard. But actually, if you just stop for a moment and just imagine that this moment has been frozen in time, and just bring yourself very much into the space that you're in. So wherever you're managing to do this, just be very present. Notice your sit bones, sitting either on the floor or on a block or a cushion. Just notice your spine's nice and long. Don't stick your chin out, don't drop it, just pull the chin back slightly to extend the neck. And just imagine your head perfectly balanced between your shoulders. And then bring yourself really into a breathing space. So as you're sat and you're breathing, you should be able to bring yourself very much into the space that you're sitting in, very aware of where you are, and yet also noticing your breath. So just imagine that you're gathering your thoughts. Just like a parachute. Imagine throwing a parachute over the top of your head, and that you're gathering it in, and as you gather it in, you gather your thoughts. And you're bringing them right back into this seated position. Your breath is calm. Jaw is relaxed. You're aware of maybe sounds around you, but don't get drawn up into any drama. Don't try to think about what that sound is or why it's there. Just simply notice it. Notice how your body's feeling. Notice if it's comfortable or uncomfortable. And if you keep opening your eyes, just keep closing them again. Not tightly, but softly. And draw your senses to this very one spot, where you are right now, right here. And as you breathe in, notice the coolness of the breath through the nose, and as you breathe out through the nose, notice its warmth. Breathing in through the nose, breathing out through the nose. As you start to settle, you might feel a sigh rise up through your body, and that's a really good thing. Let the sigh come and just let it go just as you would naturally. That's telling you that your body is starting to relax. Try not to slump your spine. Try and keep the heart center lifted, chest open, shoulders drop back. As you become calmer mentally, you'll notice your breath is calmer, and vice versa. I'm not going to stay here for very long, but I just want you to really notice what happens to the mind when you decide to focus it, when you decide to be present in the moment, and not to let the thoughts take you off into drama. I always say that when you try to combat the mind in meditation, it's always trying to take you into an episode of some soap opera. Don't let that happen. Just let those thoughts pass. Think about them like clouds in the sky, and they're just passing. You know they're there, but you can't hold on to them. Just let them go. Your shoulders drop. Think about your spine as long and strong, and the rest of the body soft. If you've got tension in your face, a tiny little smile on your lips will help release that tension. I'm going to breathe in really deeply now. And blow the breath out for 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, take the arms up from the side, above your head. Just lift your chin. You can keep the eyes closed, but if you're not sure what you're doing, do have a look. Really stretch the spine. And as you exhale, you're going to twist gently over to the right to wake up that spine. Squeeze the breath from the lungs. Inhale, reach the arms side and up. Exhale, twist to your left. Use your hand to support you. And come back to center. Now, keeping your gaze low, you're just going to start to flick your eyes open. And you'll feel like everything is much brighter and much sharper. And that's because your mind has become brighter and sharper. So you should feel calm. That's lovely. Just pop your hands on your lower abdomen. And we're just going to establish our abdominal breathing again. So as you breathe in, imagine the balloon is filling with your breath. And as you breathe out, the balloon is emptying and the breath is leaving the body out through the nose. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, hold, exhale down, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, hold, exhale down, 2, 3, 4. Just rest the hands. Popping your hands on the ends of your knees, deep breath in. As you exhale, you're going to bring your left shoulder to your right knee, just to stretch out your spine. Inhale, back to center. Exhale to the other side. So this shoulder's really rolling forward. And come to sit. Okay, so that you can just follow each day if you like, just that small mindfulness practice. Okay, so let's get our energy up now. So we're going to get lots of oxygen on board, and we're going to continue working on that dynamic breathing that we've been doing over the last couple of sessions. So what I suggest is that you swap your legs over, just lean back, those legs stretching, ankles moving, and remember what leg was on top or underneath. If you're sitting with straight back and 3 blocks, then obviously you don't need to move. Okay, maybe just give yourself a bit of a stretch. Okay, so bringing your right or left hand up, it doesn't really matter, up towards the nose. Imagine a cup, and you're going to blow forcefully into that cup through your nose, as if you're trying to blow something out. Okay, you ready? We're going to keep doing that till we feel the energy rising up through the body. Now, as you slow down, you've really got to forcefully blow that air out till you feel like you're almost wheezing. That's really feeling it in the tummy there. Relax your belly, breathing deeply. Exhale. Half a breath in. Soft, rounded Buddha belly, and retain the breath. So try closing your eyes, and we're just going to hold for a few counts. Soft jaw. As you retain the breath, what you're doing is increasing your lung capacity, but you also feel the oxygen has risen up towards the brain, and you will feel stimulated in the brain itself. And exhale. This time we're going to do the same again, but without the hand there. If you lose it, this momentum, pop your hand back up there. As long as you can feel the breath in the cup of your hand. And remember, it's exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. But as you exhale, you're going to use this muscle here. As soon as you relax it, you'll automatically breathe in. So it's contract, release, contract, release, contract, release. Let's have another go. So if you're sitting like this, let's pull ourselves right up. Let's get as much oxygen on board as possible, which is something we haven't thought about probably during the day, unless we run for a bus. Okay, here goes. Nice deep breath in. And exhale, 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 exhale. Keep exhaling now. Imagine your navel being pulled towards your spine. Don't collapse. Try and keep that spine long. Take a deep breath in. I want to fill up with breath, oxygen, and exhale. Draw that navel back. Take a half breath in, and you're going to hold the breath just for 20 seconds. Eyes are closed. You've got a half a breath there held in the belly. And exhale. Good. Breathe in. Reach the arms up. You can open your eyes and then fold forward. So really give yourselves a deep stretch. Now all of us are going to be different. Some are going to go right down, some aren't. So it's really what feels right for you. And then get these blocks out of the way. And we're going to be ready for our sun salutation. So from here, you're going to come up onto your knees. So you need to unfold yourself and come up onto your knees. So your knees are quite wide, but not too wide, and your hands are at the front of the mat. That's really important. Spread those fingertips. Make sure your shoulders are right over those wrists. And we're going to warm up the spine. So inhale, tailbone and chin up. As you exhale, push down into the floor. Tuck your tailbone under, chin to chest. Inhale. Exhale, chin to chest, tuck that tailbone under. Really feel like your back's cracking open. Inhale, back to neutral. I want you to tuck your toes under and slowly lift your hips to press back into down dog. Now just feel like you're waking up. This is called down dog because this is what dogs do when they wake up. They give themselves a really good stretch and then walk through your feet. Just get those ankles moving, the toe joints moving, knees and hips. Fabulous. Come down onto your knees. You're going to sit back like this, lean forward, doesn't matter which leg, and come up to stand. So your feet are going to be apart, and arms are relaxed, and just swing the arms backwards and forwards. Breathe nice and deeply, just get these joints warmed up, and the last time squeeze your buttocks, push the hips forward and come into prayer. Alright, and here we go, sun salutation. We're really getting good at this. Remember, if you have to drop your knees, continue to do that until you feel ready to step through without your knees to the floor. So, feet together everybody. Standing at the front of your mat. Spread those toes. Nice long tailbone. Here we go. Inhale. Exhale, prayer. Inhale, reach forward and back. Separate your hands. Exhale, forward fold, bend your knees if you have to. Inhale, step back with your right leg, lower your knee as you raise your chest. Hold your breath, plank pose, squeeze the buttocks and arms. Exhale, knees, chest, chin. Using your feet, push forward, arms to raise. Tuck your toes under, press back, down dog. Lower your knees if you have to. Inhale, right leg forward, knee down, chest lifted. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, reach forward to go back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, step back, left leg, ease into your hips, raise your chest. Hold your breath, plank pose. Exhale, knees, chest, chin, keep those elbows in. Now use your feet to slide along your mat. Use your arms to lift up. Tuck your toes under, press back, down dog. If you tighten the hips, keep the feet apart. Press back. Come to your knees if you need to. Inhale, left leg forward, knee down, chest lifted. Exhale, forward fold. So if you've got your knees apart in down dog, your feet, you can have your feet apart now as well. Inhale, so if it's more comfortable to have your feet apart, please do so. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, right leg back, knee down, chest lifted. Hold your breath as you step back to a strong plank pose. Exhale, knees, chest, chin. Inhale, push forward, raise up through the arms, tuck your toes under, press back, down dog. Inhale, right leg forward, knee down, chest lifted. Exhale, forward fold, bend your knees if you have to. Inhale, reaching up to go back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, left leg back, knee down, chest lifted. Hold your breath as you step back into a strong plank pose. Now really squeeze the thighs and muscles. Exhale, knees. Now here, stick your bottom and chin out as you fold forward. Use your toes to push forward. Use your hands to lift. Tuck your toes under, press back, down dog. Inhale, left leg forward, knee down, chest lifted. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reach forward with the arms, spread those fingers, push the buttocks forward, and exhale, namaste. Notice your heart rate. That's gone up. Now just stand for a moment, just let it settle. Beautiful. Okay. Nice wide stride, everyone, to the side. So taking your legs apart, we're going to do a forward fold. And this time we're going to go a little bit deeper than last lesson. So make sure your middle two toes are pointing straight ahead. Squeeze the buttocks and make sure your pelvis is right underneath your shoulders, so you don't want to stand at a funny angle like this. That's lovely. Inhale, arms to the side. As you exhale, then clasp your hands behind you. So you're linking them together like this. And maybe using your index fingers. Reach back, so you're going to lift your nose to the sky. Now as you go forward, reach with the chest. Go back as far as feels comfortable. And then see if you can bring your arms over the back of your head. Everyone's different. Use the weight of the body. Use the breath. Keep breathing. Remember to breathe in as a prep. Breathe out as an extension and a release. Now as you come out of this, use your arms. Imagine you're stroking the floor with your nose and your chin as you really, really slowly come up. Never come up too fast because you could feel dizzy. And then just let your arms float up. We're coming into our triangle series that we started last lesson. Keep the quads lifted. Pull up the ball of the right foot, rotate the foot and lower. Double check that your toes are lined up and they're not going off at an angle. Squeeze those buttocks to keep that pelvis beautifully level. Looking down the right arm, you're going to lift. So extend those ribs as if you were trying to lift over a fence. Inhale. Keep the quads lifted. Grab hold of your foot, ankle, shin, or just above the knee. Push the pelvis to me, so squeeze your buttocks towards me. If you've got low blood pressure, neck problems, you need to stay there. For the rest of us, we're going to inhale, turn from the waist, and look towards our thumb, which should be hovering just above the face. Now watch out for your head, don't drop it back. Keep the chin tucked in, as if somebody's holding the back of your head. Breathe. Keep those quads really seriously lifted. Think about what a triangle looks like. And today we're going to take our arm over a little bit more, just to give that lovely side extension. Looking down, inhale to come up. And from here, we're going to bend that right leg. So the knee sat over the ankle, so just double check, have you got your knee sat over the ankle bone? That back foot nice and strong, pushed into the mat, and place the hands right at the tops of the legs. Inhale, roll your shoulders up and roll them down. We're going to hold by squeezing the buttocks. We're going to hold for 2 breaths. Breathe in and out. Keep pushing the knee open. Breathe in and out. Straightening that leg. Bring the foot back to centre. That was so much better. So we're going to do the same on the other side. Taking the arms out to the side. Ready for our Trikonasana triangle series. So lifting the ball of the left foot. Keep the quad lifted. Rotate on the heel. Takes a little bit of work. And then lower the foot. So double check. Is that foot going straight out in one line? And is that back foot slightly turned in? Looking to the left. Inhale, lift, and then see which part of the leg you have to grip as long as this is kept straight. So if you're like this, you're too far down. So when you straighten your leg, your arm will come up with it. That's great. So I can go down here. Push the hips towards me, roll both shoulders back, then turn your head to look at your thumb. Pull that belly in, and then think about turning from the waist. So it's a real rotation to the waist. Don't do this with your head. Oh, that's so dangerous. Pull the chin in, look up. If you've got a neck problem, then you should be looking down. Now take the arm all the way over. You're going to feel a real extreme stretch now. Look down. Inhale to come up, squeeze those buttocks back to centre and into Warrior 2. This is a Warrior 2 pose. Pop your hands down. Really squeeze that knee open. Make sure the knee's over your ankle. And just breathe. Roll the shoulders forward, up and back. And let all the tension of the upper body drop towards the floor. This is really powerful through the lower part of the body. Good. Inhale and stretch. and come back to center. Okay, and just walk your feet back in. Oh, and shake them out. So shaking your feet out and your legs. That's fantastic. Well done. All right, so we're going to do a warrior one this time, which is with your hips facing forward. So we're going to go sideways and we're going to come down into a down dog. So just take yourself into a nice down dog. Make sure your feet are apart today. That's it. And you're going to turn in your left foot and just step through with your right. So you've got a nice long lunge. And then just take your arms up. So what you want to be careful of is your hips twisting like that. So think about the hips twisting this way. Your right shoulder coming back and your left shoulder coming forward. We're just going to hold for 2 breaths. If your arms are really straight, stressing there, bring them back down here. And straighten the leg. Good. Taking yourself back down. Do a nice down dog. Make sure your feet are apart. Really push back here. Flatten those shoulder blades. Turn in your right foot. And you can go right up onto your foot like this. So if you have to come down to your knee to do it, it doesn't matter. Anything to allow you to come into this nice deep lunge. And then taking the arms up. So same thing's going to apply. Don't let yourself turn around like that. Think about this right shoulder coming forward. If your arms are stressing, just take them down. Breathe. Just think about that back foot kind of pushing into a wall. If you bring your foot too far, this will happen. So you want it kind of halfway, so you feel like your hips are really rotating. And straighten your leg. And this time just come back to the front. And just shake yourselves out. Whew. Okay, good. It's really coming on beautifully. So coming to our balance series. So we're going to add a balance today. So we're going to continue with our tree pose. And then we're going to do a slightly different pose as well. Okay. So let's start with the simple pose first. So just bending your knee, clasping your hands around the front, you're going to hold onto the front of your leg. Focus your attention and then try and straighten the supporting leg and bring the thigh towards you so that you've got a lovely strong back. Now don't drop your arms or bring your shoulders up. Now if holding your knee is difficult, you can pop your hands underneath. That might be easier. I'm just going to hold and breathe. And lower. Perfect. Other side. So I'm just going to slightly turn like this so that you can see what needs to happen to that supporting leg. So softening both legs. Nice and chilled. Focus your eyes. Lace your fingers together either in front of the knee or underneath. Whichever is easier for you. Ideally the front, but if you've got any knee problems or it's really difficult to do that, hold underneath. Deep breath in. As you exhale, you're going to try and straighten that supporting leg and bring the thighs close as possible. Now this foot's nice and relaxed. My arms are working quite hard here and I want a lovely straight back. Focus your eyes on one spot. Steady mind, steady pose, and gently lower. And then just shake your legs out. Woo, and your hips. All right, so we're going to continue working with our tree poses. So those of you who really struggle with balancing, maybe because of your feet, because of other, biomechanical reasons, then you can just come into this, where your foot will come up. And if you lose balance, you take your foot down. All right, so if that's you, continue to work like that. And this time you could maybe even add your arms to just challenge yourselves a bit more. The rest of us, nice, soft feet, everybody. And we're going to place the left hand on the pelvis and reach down to the right ankle. Focus your eyes. Inhale, lift the heel as high as you can into the groin and press the sole of the foot into the inside of your other thigh. If you need to hold on to your ankle, then you can stay there and just do half a prayer. The rest of us are going to come into prayer position. Focus the eyes, usually on the floor. If you take them too high, it sometimes feels like you're tipping over. So just keep that balance. And eyes focus where it feels good for you. We're going to inhale, reach forward. You can take the arms apart today and really lift. Remember to try and straighten the arms if you can. Think about lengthening them. And today we're going to come into the blossoming tree. So bringing your first finger and thumb together, imagine a beautiful blossoming tree. Close the pose. Reach for the first balance we did and lower. Try not to collapse if you can help it. Ooh, and shake out that supporting leg. Get the blood moving. Okay, other side. Doing really well. So whichever version you're doing, you're going to do the same. So again, I always like to have my legs quite relaxed at this point, so I find my centre of balance. So hand on the pelvis, so this time right hand, we're drawing down towards the left ankle. So reaching down towards the left ankle. Inhale to lift as high as you can. If you need to hold on, please do. If you're doing the ankle version, then maybe challenge yourselves to raise your arms this time. Coming into prayer, if that's the version you're doing. Focus your eyes on one spot. Inhale, you can separate the arms, keep the eyes focused. Try not to do this. Try to think about getting taller and taller in your tree. Steady mind, steady pose. And then we're going to open up into blossoming tree. And close the pose. Soften your supporting leg, and we're going to end as we began with that original balance. If you have to collapse out of this because your legs are hurting, don't worry, it's fine. As the weeks go on, you will build up your strength and your confidence. And release. Whew, great. There's hips moving. Just let everything just drop away. And we're coming down to the floor. So take your left leg behind your right and come to the floor. Now if you are in need of a block or a cushion to put underneath your left hip on this side, then get that ready. If you're doing the other version, then you're going to have your left leg extended and your right leg bent and slightly away from you. So this week I'm going to give you the option to choose which is correct for you. Alright, so I'm going to do this version. This works for me. Here we go. What you've got to imagine is that you've got a bowl of water on top of your head. So if you drop your head forward or back, that water is going to splash everywhere. So just think about keeping it as tall as you can. It's quite a nice idea, doing it like this. Just putting a block top of your head like this, imagining that this is a bowl, and then as you turn, you can't lean forward or lean back. So imagine that bowl of water on your head, or if you've got a block, it's perfect to pop it on there. If a cushion's too big, then we won't see you. Alright, so pull that knee in, so whichever version you're doing, leg extended, left leg extended, or tucked underneath you. Inhale, reach up. Now you're going to reach forward with the left arm and pull this thigh right into you so you can feel it against your belly. Inhale, lift into your chest. Exhale, turn. Now remember that bowl of water on your head. You're going to turn, wrap the arm around your back, or you're going to put it on the floor, aren't you? So So it's either as close to you as possible like this, or fingertips, but don't collapse. Try and keep that arm straight. That's great. So breathing in again, into the chest, exhale all the way around the back. If your arm's wrapped around the back, try not to stick your elbow out, keep it tucked in. Nice abdominal breathing, everybody. And as you open up, you're going to release towards the floor and come back to centre. Okay, other side, so whichever version you're doing, swap the legs over. If you need your block, you're now going to put it onto your right side. And if you're doing the other version, you've got your right leg extended and your left leg a nice distance away. Great, here we go. So inhale, reach forward with the right arm and pull that left leg firmly in towards you. Then turning, so we're going to lift into the chest, exhale to turn from the waist. So once you're there, you want abdominal breathing, so breathe into the inner thigh, exhale, pull the belly back. Close your eyes and just use your breath to focus. Don't focus on how uncomfortable this might be, just focus on your breathing. And if you focus on your breathing, then you will be able to stay there longer and really progress. Think about the benefits of the blood moving through the spine here. Fresh oxygenated blood to the organs of the body. Calming and soothing the mind. Spinal twist. Inhale, open all the way to the other side. Now really use your fingertips, and that includes your thumb. Elbows to the side so that you don't collapse to the floor. And inhale back to centre. Fabulous. Okay, so we're coming into our cobbler pose that we started last week. So again, if you need one block to sit on, or you need two, or you've got a cushion, then you need to get it ready now. So what we're going to do is walk ourselves as close to our heels as we can, and then we're going to open our feet like a book. So think about your feet together and then they're open like that. Think about these as your little toes pushing up, and then pull them towards you. So from the side, you try to get as straight a spine as you can. So take a deep breath in. Now as you exhale, squeeze the buttocks and press the knees to the floor. Just going to hold and breathe. Just keep squeezing the knees towards the floor, pulling the feet towards you. It's not a pleasant exercise, but to get a really balanced body biomechanically, we need all parts of the body to start feeling a bit the same, and not just having really tight bits and really loose bits, or, you know, you need a nice balance. Keep breathing, keep those eyes closed once you've found your centre. Keep pressing down. That's lovely. And today we're just going to pop the hands underneath, pull them together. Again, feet can be apart if it's more comfortable, just let yourself drop. And we're going to come into a forward bend. So, some of you are going to have really tight hamstrings and a tight lower back. It's really, really common, especially if you're an athlete or you do a lot of sports, running, cycling, football. You're going to have tight hamstrings and hips. That's just, you know, a hazard really, I suppose. So, you're going to pull your left leg in and open it to the side. Now if that feels uncomfortable, just pop a cushion or a block underneath like that. Feels great, I even like this. And this foot is the active leg. Now if you can touch your toes like that without bending your back, then brilliant. But otherwise you're going to get, if you haven't got a strap, make sure you've got some sort of scarf or even your sock to put around here. And you see it's going around the ball of the foot. And then you're going to bend the elbows as if you were riding a horse and keep the back absolutely straight. So if I show you from the side what it looks like, legs bent in, so this is your half leg. So what I don't want to see is this. Can you see how nothing's happened in my lower back? You're literally bending from the waist. You need to think about being pulled from the tailbone. So the tailbone is pulling that way. Breathe in and then use your arms, but watch out, don't do this. If you do this, it's a complete waste of time. You're just going to have very tense shoulders and still have a tight hamstring and lower back. So even if you only go down a little bit, that's brilliant. Okay, so if that's you, you need something like this. Any kind of belt is perfect. For those of you who can go further, just breathe, eyes closed. We're going to breathe for 2 breaths. And come up and down. Lift that knee, slide it out. We're going to do the other side. So slide the right knee in and fold it open. So again, if you need that block, make sure it's popped under. If you need a strap, it needs to be there and ready. Okay, are we ready? Yes. Inhale, lift, and exhale, forward fold. So even I'm not collapsing like that. I'm lengthening my body first, and then thinking belly to thigh, chest to knee, head to shin. And if I can't do that, if I can't get my belly to the thigh, I'm not going down any further, because otherwise I will not stretch my hamstrings. Keep your quads lifted here, because if they are soft, then your hamstring is not getting a stretch. So pull up your quad to help the hamstring stretch out. We're just going to hold for 2 full breaths, breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. Inhale to come up and into prayer. So lift your knee, give yourself a little shake, and we're going to just do 1 back bend now. So we're going to come back onto our knees, hands to the front, spread your fingertips, make sure your hands are the same width as your shoulders, and your knees are about 6 inches apart. Now I want you to walk your knees back a little bit so they're not quite underneath your hips, and then you're going to push forward. I've gone too far actually. There, just make sure your shoulders are still over your wrists. And then you're just going to let yourself sink forward. Squeeze the buttocks, keep the arms straight. If you do this, ouch, imagine you're pushing yourself out of the floor. You know when you're at the side of the swimming pool and you've got to lift yourself out, it's that feeling. So squeeze your buttocks, make sure your heels are apart, use the strength in the upper body. Keep lifting the chin a little bit more for a bit more of a back bend, and then release. Nice wide knees, everyone. The wider your knees, the more movement in the hips. So if you're struggling with this, nice wide knees and just rest. If you can't get your head to the floor, fold your arms, or you can do that. Okay, whatever's best for you. I'm going to pull Jamie in a minute now to do our shoulder stand and ending series. So just walk yourself back to sitting position, and we're going to actually do another one of our inversions. So we're going to go from where we started the dolphin and go from there to our shoulder stand. Are you ready? Here we go. Okay, so Jamie is resting as you are with your knees nice and wide. So if you haven't already sat up, we're going to walk ourselves up to a sitting position. Leaving your head to come up last. And then we're going to be ready for our shoulder stand again. So let's go into the dolphin to strengthen all of the right muscles that we need to get a good shoulder stand, and eventually maybe by the end of the course we can start with our headstands. So just coming to the front of the mat, remember that you're going to grip just above the elbow, so use your thumbs as well and grip just above the elbows like this, and just double check that your shoulders over your elbow. Okay, so I think you're going to need to come much further to the front of the mat, not too far because you're going to make a fist. So opening up your lower arms, make a fist. So the fist is really strong. So you've got the heels pressed together, thumbs crossed over, and you've got a really strong base there. And those elbows are going to press firmly into the mat. Okay, so looking down through your legs, you're going to step back with your right leg, keeping it nice and straight and strong. Then your left leg, so you're in a perfect plank already. Keep pressing the arms, hands and elbows into the floor. Keep your feet together. You'll find it's a little bit easier. Okay, nice long spine. So don't drop your chin, don't stick it up. Just think about the back of the neck pushing towards the sky. Perfect. So as you inhale, you're going to lift your hips high, right up onto the toes here. So your heels are coming up high. Push your head through the shoulders. And exhale to lower, nice and easy. Don't drop too low. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Last one, everybody. Inhale up. Exhale down. I'm going to hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and lower your knees to the floor. Good. Alright, so just pushing yourselves up. You're going to come to do your shoulder stand. So coming along the mat, make sure that your heels are probably just off your mat. Actually, if you're tall, you'll probably need them just off your mat. Pointing your toes. Make sure that you're sitting nice and straight. Inhale, raise the arms to shoulder height. And as you exhale, point the toes, tuck your tailbone under, drop your chin to your chest. So you should actually look at your chest. And if you do, you'll go down much slower and with a lot more care. And I'm hoping that even by this lesson now, that's feeling a lot more in control. Fabulous. Alright, so coming up into our shoulder stand. Now remember that you've still got those other versions. You've got the one against the wall, where you've got your feet on the wall and pushing yourselves up into the shoulder stand, or you've got your bottom on the floor. So I'll come back and just remind you if you haven't quite remembered. So Jamie's going to fling himself up. Again, I don't care how you get up, as long as you can get up. For some of you, you can't get up for lots of reasons. Neck problems, you might have unmedicated high blood pressure, for instance. You know, things where it feels deeply uncomfortable. So if you're pregnant, you can do this if you've been doing it for years, but I wouldn't suggest it at this point. So getting your bottom really close to the wall. Going to hold this for about 2 minutes, you know, in an inversion. So your legs are up the wall like this. They're open to the side like this. Or the soles of the feet are together like this. So whichever version you're doing, we can mix and match. The rest of us, feet on the wall, we're going to push those hips up and then walk your feet further up, otherwise it will be a bit extreme. So by now you know which one is the right one for you. So once we've settled into our good inversion, we're going to close our eyes if we can. And just breathe into our tummies, because it does feel quite uncomfortable to try and breathe into your chest, and you shouldn't be anyway. So what's beautiful about this position is that your organs will stack up. They'll come into a good, that you actually get space between them. And as the days go on, and if we sit badly, our organs change their positions, believe it or not. So this is going to help bring them back. So just breathe into your tummies. Eyes closed, and as you breathe out, just slightly close that little valve at the back of the throat as you breathe out, so you'll actually be able to feel it as well as hear it. Breathe in normally and breathe out. Just going to hold for a little bit longer. Just think about all the benefits you're getting. Stale blood moving from your feet down towards the heart having a bit of a rest because gravity's working with it, and you're bringing oxygenated blood to the organs and to the brain, as well as obviously the heart. Taking a deep breath in, exhale the right leg down behind you. Now if it's coming to the floor, that's fantastic, but don't push it. Inhale up, exhale left leg down, inhale up, and if you can lower both legs to the floor, that's wonderful. For anybody else, they can just stay where they are, or you can bend your knees, bring your heels back towards your buttocks and cross your ankles, and remember that version. So whichever version you've decided to hold on to, just stay there and breathe calmly. You can try breathing softly now because of the position that you're in. For those of you against the wall, just continue, maybe change your leg position so it's different to the one you've been holding. And those of you who are using the wall to come up into the shoulder stand can consider lowering their back to the floor. Okay, and stretching the legs out. We're going to use our hands as a brake now, so taking your hands to the floor, you've really got to come down very carefully here. So if your legs need to bend or they need to keep straight, just listen to your body. Those hands are going to be really working hard. The muscles in the arms are working hard, and this is to stop the lower back slamming to the floor. Now once the back's to the floor, it feels great. Bend your knees, open your knees and feet really wide, but make sure you're keeping your foot in one straight line, so don't turn them out, because if you turn them out, you're compromising the health of your knee. That's lovely. Okay, so inhale, nice deep breath, lift those hips up and push up as high as you can. Push right up into your shoulders, and you're going to clasp your hands together now into a fist like this, and you're actually going to press them down into the mat. Now this helps this wonderful rotation in the shoulder, strengthening your hamstring. Your thoracic spine is getting a fabulous lift. That's where your heart and your lungs are. Okay, and we're going to lower ourselves to the floor, separating the hands, taking them away from the body today. We're going to do a slightly different fish today. So walking your feet away, feet together, toes pointing to the nose. So think about nose, toes pointing to the nose. Now this time we're going to inhale, bend our arms, let our head hang behind us. Now if you're not quite sure what to do, have a quick look as you can see. So you just bend your elbows. Okay, have a go at that one. Here we go. So popping your hands down, you're just going to bend it, yes, and let your head hang back. So really press the hands into the mat. I don't want you to hold this for too long and then lower yourselves to the floor. Now, for any of you that have neck problems, this is what you need to do. So roll over away from the wall. And you can do this yourselves, guys. You can just put the blocks on the mat and then roll it over onto the blocks. Come on right up onto them and let your shoulders hang over, and we can just rest there. Let everything just relax. And this is great if you've got a bit of a dodgy neck, a bit low blood pressure. That means that your neck's not compromised at all. You've got this lovely sort of flow here. It's also fabulous to do. It's absolutely beautiful. So if you want to have a go with that after the session, just putting a big cushion underneath there, maybe a bolster, or if you've got these yoga blocks. And we're just coming into Shavasana. So lots of people like to stay like this for Shavasana, for your corpse pose and relaxation. But if you're not happy to put that, maybe a big bolster underneath your chest like this, what's happening is you're breathing really deeply and you're also able to relax at the same time. So yogi's choice, as I call it, is completely up to you how you end today's session. So just bending your knees, just roll over so I can take these away from you. That's great, and we're coming into our final relaxation, everybody. Alright, so if you need your blanket, don't forget to get it. He's a lucky boy, isn't he? You're doing it for him. But for yourselves, if you're on your own, but you know what? Consider doing these sessions with your family members. It helps bond the family together. You're doing something as a family. try and involve as many people as you can. Yoga is such a profoundly important event, for a family. It can really bond you. It's great for you as an individual, but get people involved. Here we go. So your feet are nice and wide. You feel completely chilled now. You've worked really hard. It's time to completely restore. So you're releasing and restoring any muscular pains or aches and pains, overstretching, understretching, mental fatigue. Everything now is going to come to some sort of equilibrium, some sort of balance. Make sure your neck feels relaxed, your shoulders, your body feels like it's sinking. If you need to bend knees and get comfortable, don't forget to do that. So just bring your awareness to your breath. Going back to watching the breath come in through the nose. Watching the breath go out. Your eyes are closed. You're bringing your awareness within now. This is your time, your space. My toes and feet are relaxed. My ankles and calves are completely relaxed. My knees and thighs are relaxed. My hips and lower back are completely relaxed. My middle and upper back are relaxed. My internal organs, heart and lungs, are completely relaxed. My shoulders and arms are relaxed. My hands and my fingers are completely relaxed. My neck and throat are relaxed. My chin and jaw are completely relaxed. My mouth and tongue are relaxed. My nose, cheeks and ears are completely relaxed. My eyes and forehead are relaxed. My head and scalp are completely relaxed. My mind and my body are relaxed. My mind and my body are completely relaxed. I'm at peace, peace, peace. Ensure that you stay in this relaxed position for a minimum of 5 minutes. Remind yourself how to come out of the posture with care and consideration for the mind and for the body. Stay warm after practice and drink plenty of water to help the body continue its detoxation. And have a lovely, lovely day, week. Be kind. We see you next session.